Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here in the concert review. This time I'm going to do Iron Maiden in the Raven Age in Philadelphia. The Legacy of the Beast tour. Saw this at Wells Fargo Center July 30th, 2019. Love Iron Maiden. You know, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. And they're a band that you just got to see every time they come around. They're you know, they announced a tour 6 months ago or whatever it is, and you know, you put that on your calendar immediately because you know what show you're going to get. And this was one of the best performances I've ever seen from Iron Maiden, just period, ever. They really, really brought it this time, and it was quite awesome to see. I saw Iron Maiden on the Maiden England tour in 2012, I think, and then the Book of Souls tour in 2017. So, and this is one of those more throwback tours. Didn't really play anything new. The newest thing they played was from Matter of Life and Death from 2006. Crazy to think that album's 13 years old, but. So yeah, I've never really done this for a show. But if you're watching this and you're going to go see Iron Maiden, like you have tickets, you're totally going to go see them. I honestly recommend do not watch this and come back to it later. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone because it was such a special show, a special set, and some of the set pieces they had were just fucking awesome. And I definitely think it's best experienced, firsthand sort of thing. No spoilers sort of thing. So just wanted to get that out of the way. So starting with the Raven Age, I think the Raven Age is a solid band. I believe it's Steve Harris's son is in this band. I reviewed their new album Conspiracy that came out, I believe in March. I like these guys. You know, they're not the best metal band in the world, but I like that they have riffs. They have that sort of Iron Maiden influence to them in terms of guitar leads. They also have a newer sort of metalcore vibe to them as well. So they kind of throw a lot together. And so I was interested in seeing these guys. I thought they performed well. They got out there. They just kind of did their thing. They sounded great. The one thing from these guys that I never really noticed listening to their album a lot is that how much different vocals they have going on, both in terms of background vocals, maybe a little bit gang vocals sometimes, but they just really nailed that. Their bass player and their guitar player sings along with their actual singer, and they really sounded great vocally. I think about a song like Surrogate, that has some great vocals there. And that sounded really good. They mostly played new stuff. So Betrayal of the Mind, Surrogate, The Day the World Stood Still. All those are great tracks. I like them a lot. I like, the riffs, the sing-along nature to them. Was pretty good. The Face and Launched 1,000 Ship, they did more, or the singers played that acoustically. The rest of the band eventually came in, but that was awesome to hear. Fleur de Lis is probably their most popular song off their new album, and I like that song. It doesn't get me going as much as, let's just say Betrayal of the Mind or Surrogate, two of the other singles they released, but it was cool to hear. And then Grave of the Fireflies, I thought was awesome. That is the closing track to their album. It's about 8 or 9 minutes long, and it's a really well done song, and it's cool that they got to play it. Because it kind of has a lot of different elements to it, and I think they did that very well. Seventh Heaven was also cool, and then they closed with Angel in Disgrace, which is their most popular song. But I believe it's during Seventh Heaven they did the whole thing that a lot of bands do now of get your phone out, turn the light on, and I was like, man, at least everyone around me just seemed like that they didn't really dig these guys. And I'm like, man, this is going to be a tough sell. It's an Iron Maiden crowd. I almost feel bad for any band opening for Iron Maiden because everyone that's there is there for fucking Iron Maiden. Even the Book of Souls tour, Ghost opened. Ghost is a very popular band. I still feel like it was almost a tough sell for them. And I'm like, man, these guys are new. I saw this guy, on his phone texting his buddy because the Wells Fargo Center, you feel like you climbed a fucking mountain. It is so steep. It's impossible not to see what anyone's doing when their screen is lit up right in front of you. It's like at the movies, you know what I mean? It's, no, this band sucks, throw shit at them and all this stuff. And I'm like, Okay, whatever, buddy. But I'm like, man, I don't know if they're going to do it, but a lot of people did it, and it was pretty cool. It was cool to see the whole arena just light up. So that was cool. I mean, overall, they were fine. You know, I would see the Raven Age if they were on a good package and came around again, and maybe in a smaller venue. I like them. So yeah, then move on to Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, this Legacy of the Beast tour is great. I think it's kind of in support of their mobile video game that they have. They had like a trailer for it before they came on. I haven't played it, but yeah, that's cool. That's just fucking awesome. You know what? There's not a lot of metal bands out there that have their own video game. But yeah, they're mostly playing some throwback, classic sort of stuff. And yeah, let's just get into it. They open with Aces High, which is just such the perfect song to open with if you're talking classic Iron Maiden. Because one, it's a hit, people know it, they get going. But then two, it's got that energy to it that people just really get going. It has that sing-along factor that you love. Being at an Iron Maiden show, just hearing the whole crowd just going nuts and sing along, it's awesome. So that was awesome. And then they had this gigantic, like, inflatable airplane that that was hovering over the band. I mean, it was fucking huge. It's hard to put it into words how big it was. And yeah, and then it had the propeller was spinning, all sorts of stuff. I'm like, this is just insane. It's just crazy right off the bat. Then they get into Where Eagles Dare, 2 Minutes to Midnight. So they're really bringing the heat. I mean, Where Eagles Dare and 2 Minutes to Midnight are riff fest, man. And I mean, so is Aces High, but it's like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. You know, Bruce is running around like a maniac. They all are, and they're loud. The crowd's pumped up. Bruce changes outfits every fucking song, which is just crazy when you put that into perspective. They played 16 songs. He probably had 10 different outfits. It's just crazy. And sometimes he has time to change. Maybe there's just a more musical section of the song or whatever. But it's just crazy that they do that. Then he kind of spoke to the crowd after that, and was saying, he's like, you're old when you have Rolling Stone review you. They were at the New York show and they gave him a good review and they liked it. He's like, okay, but I don't really give a fuck. And it was cool. It's the only time they really spoke to the crowd, because otherwise they just played, and it was awesome. Then they played The Klansman, which was great to hear. It's a Blaze Bayley era track. I know that they have been playing the song live for a long time. A few songs from that era. Of course, I just think Bruce does them way better. Even back to the Pauly Diano first two records, Bruce does it better. That's just me. I know, but so of course he brings a flair to it that really works. And I haven't heard them play The Klansman live, so that was awesome to hear. It's a great track. My favorite part, and I feel a lot of people's favorite part, is kind of the middle section. No, won't let them take anymore. Like, oh, it's so good. So cool to hear the whole crowd singing that. Then The Trooper and Revelations back to back. Those were great to hear. Revelations especially, that was awesome. And then For the Greater Good of God, which was probably one of the deeper cuts that they played, I think. I really didn't expect them to play something like that off of A Matter of Life or Death. That's probably the newest song that they played, but I love that song. I think it's a beautiful song, and that chorus is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, then The Wicker Man, which is always great to hear, and Sign of the Cross, another Blaze Bayley era track, and it's like, fuck, this was cool. He came out and he had like this hood sort of thing on. He had a cross and put the cross down. It was very demonic music playing. The lights were all red. It was cool. Their whole stage setup was just wild. But that was really great to hear as well. And Bruce puts a great spin on that. Then Flight of Icarus, which I've wanted them to play that so badly the past two times I saw them. And that's one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs. And so to hear them play that was great. Bruce Dickinson had fucking flamethrowers, man. In both hands, he kept just fucking spraying flames. It was wild. And then they had this giant Icarus sort of thing. And then it's just bangers from here on out. Fear of the Dark, which is a classic, one of the best songs that Iron Maiden has that they play live. the recorded studio version of Fear of the Dark is not even comparable to a live version, if you ask me. Then Number of the Beast and Iron Maiden. So always great to hear those songs. And yeah, basically they tried to change the stage setup in some way for every song. Think about that. It's just wild. Think about how much shit that they have to travel with from city to city and set up and tear down. And we had seats. We had pretty solid seats. We were kind of on the side of the stage, but we were way up, a little bit more towards the nosebleed section, but not all the way there. But I actually really liked where we were because we were able to see everything going on backstage, and they had like 10 dudes back there just running around doing all sorts of stuff, getting the stuff ready for the next song, and setting it up. And it's like I'm like, wow, it's a real. Sometimes you don't see that sort of stuff. You might see the one guy run out and fix something with the drummer or fix a mic stand or whatever, but I'm like, it's a real team effort to see that sort of thing. It was a total different perspective. I loved it. Then they came back, Encore, The Evil That Men Do, which is always great, and then fucking Hallowed Be Thy Name. I know they haven't been able to play this for a few years because of a lawsuit sort of thing. This is my absolute favorite Iron Maiden song. There's nothing even close, in my opinion. Iron Maiden has a ton of amazing songs, but in terms of my personal favorite, Hallowed Be Thy Name, hands down. So I've been wanting them to bust that out. Both times I've seen them, and they just weren't able to. But man, that was so awesome to hear, and they nailed it. Played it a little fast to me, especially the. I feel like they always do from other live versions I heard, but during those verses, Bruce felt like he was struggling to keep up because they were playing it so quickly. But it was great, and then they ended with "Run to the Hills," which is always great to hear live. I don't know. I think that song's a little overrated personally, especially when it comes to the studio version. I mean, it's a fun song, don't get me wrong. But live, that song is great to hear. I like when they play it live. So this was, potentially one of the best performances I've ever seen, and probably the best in terms of what I've seen from Iron Maiden. They're so amazing live. Like, I mean, if you're a metal fan, if you're a fan of Iron Maiden, it's an event experience to see these guys, and they can't be missed if they're coming around. And also Bruce hinted that they might even be working on new music. He's like, how next time we come back here, what if we have some new songs? And everybody's like, yeah. So it's cool. I would love new Iron Maiden music. I mean, especially if it's on the level of the Book of Souls, which I honestly think is one of their best albums. Maybe, definitely of the newer era with Bruce coming back since 2000, which I guess technically isn't too new anymore. It's almost been 20 years now. But, it's probably one of their best albums. So, yeah. Let me know what you think of Iron Maiden in the Legacy of the Beast tour, in the Raven Age, and all that. Thanks for watching. See you later.